There is actually a formula that determines which trucks become collectibles and which ones rot in junkyards. And what if I told you that right now that formula is pointed directly at 90s Ford trucks? Now, I already missed the boat on this, but there's a reason why you can't find a clean OBS Bronco for under $20,000 today. So if you're a Facebook Marketplace hero, stick around to learn how to spot the next hot platform. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. My name is Matt McAdam, your host of Chasing Dust, right here on Driving Line. And so way back before I started this show, around 2015 or so, I had bought and sold several 90s Ford trucks. These are what Ford fans call OBS or old body style trucks, mainly referring to the 9th gen F series from 92 to 97. I had 3 different Broncos from that era and probably 5 or 6 different crew cab diesel trucks with the 7.3 Power Stroke. I never paid more than $10,000 for any of them. In fact, I even sold one of my Broncos for $1,300 because that was the only offer that I had. And little did I know, if I had only kept them somewhere, I don't know where, but the collective value of those trucks today might be well over $100 grand. If you've been shopping for a 90s Ford truck lately, you've probably noticed it too. The prices have gone absolutely insane. A clean, low mileage truck used to go for about $10,000 at max, and now they're selling for over $30,000 routinely. There's places like NJ Truck King that are listing these trucks at ridiculous prices. I'm going to show you guys here in just a second what I'm looking at. And these guys, I mean, if you just take a look at behind me, they're selling these things for just some ridiculous money. I mean, this is just run-of-the-mill stuff. This is a crew cab right here for $60,000. I think they even go further up than here. Look at that. Look at that. That's almost 90 grand for a single cab Ford truck. $90,000? This is just insane. But if you're sitting there saying, Matt, it's just inflation, or this is what the used car market is, I'm here to tell you that that's not at all what it is. This is something much bigger. This is a generational shift. And if you've been paying attention to the classic truck market over the last couple of decades, you've seen this pattern play out before. So in this episode, I want to break down exactly why 90s Fords are exploding in value right now. We're going to look at the pattern that's driving classic truck prices up and show you how it's repeating itself with these OBS Fords. Right, so before we dive into Fords specifically, we need to talk about the pattern that we've seen repeat itself in the classic car and truck market, because understanding this pattern is the key to understanding what's happening right now. The easiest example is what happened with the square body Chevys over the last 15 to 20 years. So these C10s from the 70s and early 80s went from affordable work trucks to serious collector vehicles. And it wasn't because they suddenly became rare or exotic. It was because the guys who grew up riding in them reached a point in their lives where they had the money and the garage space to buy one. And these were the trucks that they remembered. The trucks that their dads drove, the trucks they learned how to drive a stick shift in. And when enough people start chasing the same thing, prices go up. That's just the natural way the market works. We've already seen it with first-gen Broncos too, the classic Broncos. They're fetching north of $100,000 for a clean, restored version. And that exact same pattern is now playing out with the 90s Ford trucks. Except this time, it's millennials like me and the older Gen Zs doing the buying. So why do 90s Fords have such a strong nostalgic pull? If you're in your mid-30s to early 40s right now, you were born in the 80s or early 90s, and that's a very good chance that your dad or your grandpa or someone in your family drove one of these trucks. And if not, your neighbor probably did, or the contractor who built your house, or the pool guy. Like, everybody had one of these trucks. They were literally everywhere. I think the F-150 and the 250 were the best-selling trucks in America throughout the 90s. And for a lot of us, they were the family truck. Crew cab, 8-foot bed, enough torque to tow your house. Then the 7.3-liter Power Stroke came out, and it became the most legendary diesel engine Ford ever made for its reliability and its technology at the time. It's widely considered the best diesel engine Ford ever made until at least the 6.7 Power Stroke that finally matched that reputation, in my opinion. Guys would put 300, 400, 500,000 miles on them and they just keep running. They call it the million-mile motor. And if there was one in your family, like your dad had one, you remember what it sounded like. You remember what it smelled like, how it felt to ride in the back on a long road trip. Then there's the OBS Bronco. And look, we can't even talk about the Bronco without mentioning the OJ chase. June 17th, 1994, a white Ford Bronco, 95 million people watching it on live TV. I mean, you can't get better press than that. But like it or not, that moment immortalized the OBS Bronco in American pop culture. But beyond that, the Bronco represented something that until recently became extinct. We're talking about a full-size, body-on-frame SUV with a removable top that you could actually take off-road. It was rugged, it was capable, it was cool. But then Ford did something nobody expected. They discontinued the Bronco after 1996. It was gone for 25 years until they brought it back in 2021. And so that discontinuation created this scarcity, and that scarcity is what's driving desire. So if these trucks have always been cool, then why are the prices spiking up now? I think it's because the people who grew up with them finally have enough money to buy them. The Millennials, my generation, people born between 1981 and 1996, we're now in our late 20s to early 40s. We're hitting our peak earning years, right? Buying houses, starting families, a little bit more financially stable. Well, some of us are. And for the first time in their lives, they've got a garage and enough disposable income to buy a weekend toy or a project truck to share with their kids. It's not just about the money, though. See, a few years ago, we had a very crazy thing happen in our world that shifted a lot of people's priorities. We spent 2 years stuck at home, staring at screens, disconnected from the physical world. And I think during that time, a lot of people just realized they wanted something tangible, something mechanical that they could work on with their hands, right? Instead of just sitting and rotting away on the couch. And a project truck checks all of those boxes. Social media amplified all of this, Instagram, YouTube. It was just flooded with 90s builds, all these cool Fords being built, and everyone was posting and making content about them. They were posting restorations, engine swaps, overland builds. People were seeing that and thinking, man, I want one of those. So the demand just exploded. And when demand goes up and supply stays the same, or even shrinks because a lot of these trucks are just falling apart every year, the prices keep going up through the roof. So let's break down these specific trucks that we're seeing get the biggest gains. First up, we got the OBS Bronco, which was 1992 to 1996. This Bronco is in a league of its own. It's got the cultural significance of the OJ Chase. It's got the removable top, which albeit not many people did, but it's rarer than an F-Series truck because they made way fewer of them. And this is what happened to the price. Maybe 10 years ago, you could buy a clean OBS Bronco with relatively low miles that had a clean title for somewhere around $5,000 to $7,000. Check out what we're looking at now. I mean, it is absolutely insane. I was just checking on some of the prices for these things. As you guys can see, very dusty, not very well kept. The hood's popped up. $17,000, ladies and gentlemen, 140,000 miles. Let's just keep going through some of these. $22,000, 180,000 miles. Even at 228,000 miles, you're still fetching $12,000 for these builds. It's absolutely nuts. Here's another one with $29,000. I got to see what this is all about. It's got a lift kit. That means it's 30 grand. And you get into the more pre-runner built ones and they just get even crazy. It's like exponentially more money. Like, I don't know what about this is $70,000. I'm sorry. I even saw this one, and you guys have to see this. This is just crazy. I'm just going to pan over. It's got a lot of work done to it, but check out this price up here, $150,000 for a Bronco. It's actually EcoBoost swap. There's nothing Bronco left on this thing, but you know, it's still that nostalgia. It's that pull, you know, like these things used to be $1,500. Like I said, I sold mine for $1,300 because that's the only offer that I got on it. So I just wanted to show you guys what the market's looking like on these trucks just to start off with. Now that's just the Bronco. And next we had the F-Series trucks. And this is really the big one, the quintessential 90s truck. Boxy styling, simple layout, bulletproof powertrains. For the gas versions, you've got the 4.9 liter inline six, which is known for being one of the most reliable workhorse engines Ford ever produced, and the 5 liter and 5.8 liter small block V8s, which are usually reliable and easy to work on. They also made a 460 big block gasser, which will tow your house up a hill and pass anything but a gas station. And then you've got the 7.3 liter Power Stroke turbo diesel in the 94 to 97 F-250 and F-350. These trucks hit all the right notes for us millennials. They look the part, they're simple enough that you can wrench on them at home, and they're capable enough to actually use. 10 years ago, you could find a clean example for under 10 grand, even in a diesel four-wheel drive variation. Today, you're looking at $30,000 to $50,000 for a nice truck, sometimes more if it's truly a pristine version. And last, I think this is an honorable mention, the 91 to 94 Ford Explorer. Now, this might be the dark horse of this entire thing, but I don't think the Explorer has spiked yet. It's probably going to in the next couple of years. If you're a kid who grew up in the suburbs in the 90s, there's a very good chance that your family had an Explorer. It was the best-selling SUV in America for most of the decade. I mean, this is when Eddie Bauer, like, had this firm grasp on our parents with this earthy color and leather trim. Like, who could resist? It was amazing. Plus, they had TTB suspension if you had four-wheel drive, and a reliable 4-liter V6, which could quickly be made into an extremely capable family 4x4. These days, the aftermarket support is growing, and you're seeing more built ones and less stock ones on the marketplace. Right now, you can still pick up a clean Explorer for relatively affordable prices, and I wouldn't be surprised if that changes in the next few years as more people from that generation start feeling nostalgic about them. I myself have seen countless numbers of my friends selling their big trucks, selling their pickups, and buying an Explorer because it's cheap, it's easy to build, and it's actually really, really capable, and they can fit the whole family in them. This is all part of a bigger culture shift. These trucks were never meant to be collectibles. They were tools, they were work trucks, they were beaters that you used hard and replaced when they wore out. Ford made millions of them. They were designed to be workhorses, not museum pieces, but that's exactly why they matter now, because most of them got beaten to death on job sites and junked. The survivors, especially the ones that were garage kept or lived in drier climates, are now super rare, and the rarity drives up the value. But I think it's even deeper than that. These trucks represent a simpler, more analog era. In the world of $80,000 Ford trucks that feel like iPads on wheels, a good old 95 F-250 with a 7.3 power stroke and a ZF5, it just feels right. You know, it feels like something you can actually own, something you can actually fix, something that doesn't need a computer to work on. And I think that's a huge part of why people are willing to pay so much for them. It's not just nostalgia, it's a rejection of where modern trucks are headed. There's also this community forming around these trucks. Go on Instagram, search hashtag OBS Ford or hashtag 7.3 power stroke. You'll find thousands of posts. Restorations, builds, adventures. Even the younger generations, like Gen Z, are taking these trucks seriously again. And they were discontinued before these guys were even born. There's entire forums, YouTube channels, and Facebook groups dedicated to just keeping this era of Ford truck alive. And it's that community that sustains a collector market. So where does this all go? Well, allow me to offer my prediction. Prices will keep climbing for the next few years as more and more of us millennials hit our peak earning years and have even more disposable income, and most importantly, a parking space for it. The window for an affordable OBS truck is closing fast. I would say it's darn near shut. If you want one, you need to buy one now before the $20,000 trucks become $40,000 trucks. Eventually, though, the market will plateau just the way it has with other classic trucks. But the best examples, the low mileage, rust-free, bone stock trucks, those should always hold their value. But here's the bigger takeaway that I want to ask. Will this pattern continue on into the 2000s, 2010s? Because I'm not convinced. This is when car companies started cutting corners. They were introducing more EPA regulated parts, more plastic use, more manufacturing en masse without really caring about longevity the way that they used to. I just don't see anyone feeling nostalgic about an ordinary 2003 F-150, unless it's an SVT Lightning, of course. But who knows? I could be totally wrong. Nostalgia is one of the most powerful forces in the collector vehicle market. And once you understand that, I think you can predict what's coming next. All right, so let's bring this one into land. Basically, if you already own one of these 90s Fords, please just take care of it, because what you've got isn't just an old truck. It's a piece of automotive history, and it's only going to get more valuable from here. And of course, it makes me wonder, what's the next platform that's in for this cycle? Are you guys seeing anything silently moving up through the ranks of value in the market? Drop me a comment below, and if you want to keep it a secret, feel free to shoot me a DM at MattMogadam on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and share so that you never miss another episode, or you can give your friends something to watch during the holidays too, because after all, what better gift than curated off-road content? Once again, you guys, my name is Matt Mogadam, your host of Chasing Dust, only on Driving Line, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm gonna go buy another OBS Ford. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is Matt from Chasing Dust. Be sure to hit that subscribe button because Driving Line's creating all kinds of awesome content for gearheads just like you. I'll see you guys out there.